One,
So
two, one, two.
I can get where my thing's going.
And a 1 and a 2. That's what a drummer called his children. And a 1 and a 2.
Would you call an Italian guy with a rubber toe?
Roberto. And the joke is, would you call an Italian guy with a plastic tongue?
No, it's just
That is. That's why it's
rubber
Roberto.
toe.
No, because you're just giving him the answer in the question, you lunatic.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Behind the Brand podcast. My name is Curtis, and you're probably wondering, yes, I am in a different seat because we have a new guest here with us today that has automatically stolen my seat. I'm only joking. Sorry, I don't mind changing it up. We actually have a bit of a different episode today, folks. Now, we don't particularly have a business owner today. However, well, yeah, I mean, you could discuss that. But what we do have is a business advisor. So please welcome to the podcast. We've got James. How you doing?
Not bad at all. Thanks for having me.
Thanks very much for coming and spreading your worldwide knowledge with us all.
Worldwide. It's worldwide now, actually, as well. I've got clients
I was
literally
going to say, do you think I was kidding on there?
all over the world. Huh?
It's crazy to think of it.
Yep. And to know it's amazing how different people from all around the world treat things and do things in business as well. So yeah. So
just how about they go their business?
Yeah,
or like
I mean, it's uncanny. I think I've got now. I support businesses that I'm trying to think of a nation or something I don't have anybody from, and there's none. You know, the diverse nature of Paisley and the surrounding areas is just phenomenal at the moment. And some of the businesses are coming to see me that are from, further afield, are all amazed at how easy it is to set up a business in the country and what little that they have to do to set up a business. I'm not saying it's, what little they need to do to have a successful business.
Yes, I was going to say.
In certain other countries in the world, it is like a real job in itself just setting up a business, let alone starting a trading or.
Can you imagine places like America and things like that would be quite difficult?
Well, it's funny because it's a lot of the European countries.
Oh, is it?
Have said, yeah. Do I need this? Do I need to?
Is this due to like Brexit though?
No. Just what they would do
in general
in their country. That there's lots and lots of different rules depending on the country of things that they have to have in place and they have to do, and the money it costs. To set up business in some of these countries, it's phenomenal. And then when you're doing a tax return, because I do help some of my clients with their tax returns. I show them what they should be doing, or I walk them through it. And then is that it? Yeah.
People always think it's harder than it seems.
Absolutely. So when we've got people coming from Greece, for example, Greece's tax laws and stuff are horrific. I don't nothing against Greece. Greece is a fabulous country, and I'd love to go there. I go there on holiday a couple of times, and it's brilliant. However, when it comes to doing your taxes in Greece, you need a Philadelphia lawyer. Honestly, it's wild. Whereas over here we go, did you earn more than £1,000? Yes, you need to do a tax return. Did you earn less than £80,000? Yes, just do it as a one then. And people just don't understand that. They just like, what? I just need to give you the whole figure. You don't want it all written? No, just the one figure.
That's so easy, isn't it? But yet people are so scared of doing it.
Well, do you know, it's funny. After funding, it's the number one question that people ask me. How do I do a tax return? I'm like, you've not even started a business yet. Let's not worry about that. There's other things we need to worry about. But it's bizarre. People walk in the door and they've got an idea. They may be 6 months or a year away from doing it. And one of the first questions is, how do I do a tax return?
Well, to be fair, I would say it as a business owner, like a first-time business owner, it is quite scary. It's quite scary to think that, and you're like, God, what if I get this wrong?
Yeah.
And you're like, what if I
shot?
I'm like,
no, they come around the house. No, they don't.
You got me a panic there.
They don't do anything.
They know where I live.
They send you a letter. Oh my word! And you come and see me or somebody like me, and we say, see if you do that, and that, you're all good.
I think for us then, we never really jumped into who you are and what you do. We went off on a pure tangent there straight away. So introduce yourself first of all. Let the people know obviously your experience and things like that, and as much as you're able to give us as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So I've been a business advisor in one form or another for 15 years now. I did it for another company. I then took voluntary redundancy and set myself up and was helping charities and small businesses that sort of fall through the gaps. And now I've got a job again with I actually work for Renfrewshire Council delivering the Business Gateway program in Renfrewshire. I'm not here on behalf of Business Gateway, obviously, or Renfrewshire Council. I'm just here as a local business advisor to give you my opinion on the best way and best things to do, and also why everybody should be engaging with a business advisor of some sort.
I think that's it. Obviously, this podcast won't have, there's no exclusives or tips on how to get you funding or how to do anything necessarily like that. That is the furthest thing from what this podcast is about. It's about you listening, thinking of starting your own business, and how do I get there? Absolutely. And how do I even start it? Who do I go and see? Obviously, James is the person you would go and see.
If you're in Renfrewshire.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. So everything that you deal with just now is currently only in Renfrewshire.
Yeah. So I can give you a breakdown of Business Gateway and how it operates. So Business Gateway is a national service that's run by each of the 32 different local authorities. And they all choose how they run it. There is a split between those that have brought it as an in-house service to the council and others that deliver it via a third party. Okay. It tends to be the sort of the smaller council areas or smaller council budgeted areas, should I say, that don't have the staff in-house to do it and put it out. Up until a few years ago, actually, quite a lot was out outsourced to a third party. I think about sort of 8 or 9 years ago, they started bringing them in-house. A lot of the councils did because they could see the benefit, obviously. Because I work for Renfrewshire Council but deliver the Business Gateway project, I can also deliver the Renfrewshire Council business support as well.
That's quite good.
So it's good. So if there are funds out there, and I think you're right, I cannot give anybody tips and hints on how to get a grant and everything else because you need to write a business plan. And if your business plan is not acceptable, you ain't getting it.
Yeah, it's not as easy as just rocking up and speaking to your business advisor and thinking, I'm going to get this, but why the cash?
Somebody's told me there's money. And there's not.
Yeah, they've told you the wrong information as such.
20 years, it is funny because, as I say, I've worked through the good times in the economy and I've worked through the bad times in the economy in business startup. And during the good times, there was money. Absolutely, let's not kid ourselves. A few years ago, you could have walked in. Well, 15 years ago, you could have walked in and there would have been funded. Somebody would have funded you. And there were all sorts of programs and things like that that were just to help continue that stimulating the economy and keep people going. But then when the economy starts to drop and income to the governments and local councils drops, grants have got to go. If the money's not coming in, how do you give it out?
Yep.
And what would you rather? Would you rather somebody got a few £100 as a grant to start a business, or a care home got funded? It's no real comparison, is there? So for me, I think we just need to be aware that business support and business advisors are so much more than giving you cash.
Yeah, 100%.
See, if I'm honest, if that's the only reason you go to see a business advisor, don't bother. Honestly, don't bother, because there's so much more that a business advisor can do for you. Even, I'd like to consider I'm quite a good one. I'd like to think.
Well, I must say, before you do go on, please keep a hold of your note. Every time we've did a podcast, and I'm talking like the past maybe 5, 6, 7, probably all of them at one point, if the camera's been rolling or not, has specifically mentioned you dealing with them as well, and your colleagues as well, obviously, that work alongside you where you are at the minute, but they constantly message you. And I think this was probably a good idea bringing you on, not only because you're like, people have dealt with you firsthand, but there's a huge array of people there that we maybe haven't tapped into Business Gateway yet and don't even know probably where to go for it. would they qualify getting the help and stuff like that? And I'm not meaning financial help, I'm meaning business advice help. Like,
absolutely. So a good analogy of business help, right, is if you went to play football, you would maybe know what you were doing. But if you're only going with a tennis ball, it's not going to be a great game. Yeah. You can still play. You can still get on with it. Somebody else might turn up with a full football, and there you go. If you come to me for support, not necessarily financial, but guidance and just a full support package from me. Sometimes, by the way, the only thing that people need from me is when they come in and say, "Listen, I was going to do this. Is that?" And I can say, "Yeah, that's perfectly legal. Thanks very much." That's all they need. So it is about me saying, "There's your football.
Mm-hmm.
Go and play a full game of football." That football can be, as I say, a simple yes or a no to a question. Okay. It can also be, listen, that's a fantastic idea, but you've got to do X, Y, and Z. I've got a lovely client. I won't tell you their name. I spoke to her, I think last November, maybe beforehand. She'll correct me. I'm sure she'll watch. And she came in and she wanted to start a business, but it required a list of things for her to do first before she even considered doing the business. So I said to her, if you do that, that, and that, then come back and see me. Got an email from her 2 weeks ago to say, I've done it. Sorry, it took me a little bit longer than we planned, but can we have a meeting? Of course we can have a meeting. Simple as that. So now we're at the point where, we're going to do a plan and we're going to make sure that everything we can do to get her out there successful, we will do. And I said, depends on the business, depends on the person. The main thing for me is don't ever treat even two like businesses the same. Everybody's an individual. Every business owner is individual. I get really passionate about helping start businesses up. And that's something else I want to sort of say as well. All I do is help you. You're the one that's going to start your business.
Mm-hmm.
You're the one that's going to have this business. I'm just there to maybe just adjust your wee path, push you down the wee path that you should be down. And there are some businesses, one of them I will mention, obviously it was on last week. Cheryl Blooms, Cheryl.
Yep.
She's now got effectively two separate businesses, right? And I know she thanks me for the help I gave her and everything else. I didn't do very much for Cheryl, to be honest. I kind of pointed in the right direction. I put her in touch with a couple of people that she should be speaking to, and she's driven the business.
Yeah, but I totally get where you're coming from. But knowledge is power.
Yeah, absolutely.
And having that sense of knowledge behind everything and the guidance that you've given Cheryl has given her the confidence to then basically run her business successfully.
Yeah.
So don't put yourself down too much.
I'm not actually.
As much as you think you're probably not a big part of it, you are a big part of it.
I do understand that, even when you speak to somebody, just that conversation where I say to them, yeah, go for it. Go on. That changes people's lives sometimes. And I know that sounds a bit like I'm looking for a Nobel Peace Prize or something. I'm not. It really does. All they need sometimes is just somebody to come in and say, why not?
Mm-hmm.
I think in Britain, we are absolutely terrible at saying, but that's not for me. That's for, that's for the rich folk.
Quite
that's
negative.
Yeah. We're terrible at putting ourselves down and saying, no, people like me. Let's see if I hear that expression once more. I think I'm going to slap the next person that says it to me. People like me don't own their own business. People like me can't do it. Why not? Why not?
I was going to say, isn't most business successes people that have literally worked from the ground up?
Yeah, I mean,
that have had nothing.
Absolutely. Do you think of some of Britain's most successful businessmen? All right, and unfortunately, as businessmen, there aren't very many female out there that we talk about on a daily basis, which is shocking. Because there are plenty. Sorry, let me rephrase that. There are plenty of very successful female business owners. And quite rightly so.
Yep.
But there's not many that we talk about.
I think like that, to kind of back up your point, when we think of business leaders in the world currently, you're talking Bill Gates, you're talking Elon Musk, you're talking Mark Zuckerberg,
yep.
You're talking, Jeffrey Bezos and stuff like that. I totally get where you're coming from. There's fantastic female-led businesses and stuff like that, but like as you say, it's pretty much male-dominated at the top at the minute. At the minute, though, for anybody listening to this,
it's dominated by the ones that we talk about and we say we hold up as being successful, and I'm like, maybe not. Some of the best businesses I've ever worked with are female-led businesses.
Yep.
Cheryl's one of them. Cheryl's got a fabulous business. Cheryl has obviously the floristry business, but she's not a florist that you would normally in your head go, I'll just put them to the shop and I'll get flowers. Cheryl has took floristry and changed it, just put it on its head, which is fabulous. And that's the sort of thing we should be doing. Right. I'm not comparing Cheryl to Jeff Bezos, right? Let's not kid ourselves, Cheryl, as she said last week, won't make a millionaire out of herself, out of her business, But what she is going to do is she's providing for herself and her husband full-time jobs with the kids, And
that's success in itself.
Well, this is it. And I have the argument about success. What is success all the time, right? I'm one of these people that believe success is what it means to you, not necessarily means to me. So if worst case scenario, you've been unemployed your entire life, you've never had your own job, you've had to rely on state benefits, and all of a sudden, you think, do you know what? This whole time, I've had this hobby, and I wondered if I could make any money out of it. You come and see somebody, and they go, "Yes, you can." Oh, and do you know what? We might have a couple of £100 to allow that to happen, and all of a sudden, that person is making the same sort of money that they would have made on their benefits, right? That's success to me. That's probably success to them as well, because every penny in their pocket they've earned.
Yes,
they've put in the graft for it. People are buying them. They're buying their idea, and it's the self-esteem and everything else that comes along with it. No, don't get me wrong. I'd now be saying to them, right, that's great. Now you're making £12,000 a year. Let's make £20,000 a year. Let's make 30,000. Let's push you on. That's one of the hardest parts for me, because I'm always thinking, right, what's next? What's next? And sometimes some of my clients that I help, quite rightly, are like that. Nope, that's a level I want to be at.
Quite happily just staying in my lane.
Yeah. See, £20,000 a year take home. I'll do with that. That'll do me fine. I can live off that. I can put money aside. I can go on holiday every year. Great. Others, don't get me wrong, I've got a client who came in to speak to me about a business, right? I won't tell you too much about it because I'm not allowed to. He came in to speak to me about a business, and I was intrigued by his business in the first place, and it was quite interesting and everything else. And then he phoned me up one day and said, "Hi, James, is there any chance we can get a meeting?" I'm like, "Yeah, can I? I've not spoke to you for months. What's going on? Where have you been?" He said, "I'm in Dubai." Well, that's not what we talked about at all. It's not even close, but fair enough. And he went, yeah, I've just moved a building. What do you mean you've moved a building? Yeah, I've moved this building from there to there, and it was £1 million. What do I do? I'm like, huh? Sorry, what you do is you book me a flight. But so it's, some of my clients are proper,
I think that's it. You've got a pure mix of array of clients, though. Like as you say, you have maybe your kind of, I don't want to say big time clients as such, you know what I mean? But you've got big air clients, and then you've got people that are literally brand new, starting fresh,
lifestyle. Yeah,
and it's like that. People listening to this don't have to be worried about not being already in a business as such. That is the whole point of why this service exists.
Yeah. For me, the earlier you come and speak to me in your journey, the better, because I can help you. And I've seen people come in and they want to do something for business, and they said, "I've spoke to, my next door neighbour's uncle who had a business 30 years ago, and he told me to do this." And I said, "Yeah, 30 years ago that was the right answer. It's not the right answer now. And unfortunately, what you've done is you've caused yourself problems and blah, 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 blah. And, in most cases, cost yourself money that you didn't need to spend."
Unnecessary, yeah.
So that's, unless you know exactly what you're doing, come and speak to me or speak to one of my colleagues, or somebody that delivers a service, because it's not just Business Gateway out there. You can, if you want to, you can pay for the service and get it from your accountant. There's nothing wrong with that. Or you can get it from, some business consultant or whatever. Yep. What I would say is, though, Business Gateway is completely free across the entire country, and that's not just the advice side of it. That's all the workshops, the consultancy help, anything else that we do. It's all free. Mm-hmm. So why would you pay?
Well, that's kind of a good thing to touch on then, I think, is the benefits of it. So you were just saying about workshops and things like that. Now, I know that I've seen it personally. There is tons and tons out there.
Yep.
But what is some of the big ones that you think off the top of your head where you're like, they really benefit everyone?
Okay, so the main ones that benefit everyone, it's hard to say because, as I said, I treat every single client as a complete individual.
Yep.
Because I understand people have got different needs, different experiences in life. Even two hairdressers that walked in the door that were going to open a business next door to each other. Well, first of all, I tell them not to, but that's not the point. What I would say is, the advice I gave one may be different from the advice I gave the other.
Yeah.
Because you may have somebody that's been in the business 20 years and somebody that's just brand spanking new. So it would be different. So as much as there are some courses I think everybody should do, especially in this day and age, it really would be a case of you'd have to sit down with folk and have a look. And the other thing that, is understanding what the course is actually delivering in the first place anyway. Mm-hmm. Some of the courses, if you don't know the lingo or understand the jargon behind them, some people would look at them and go, oh, no, that's not for me. That's not what I want. So it's always best to come and speak to somebody and get them. But getting back to your question, sorry, that was a roundabout there to get to it, was the ones that are really big, especially at the moment, is understanding AI. As much as
massive topic,
not like it, AI is gonna dominate everything we do in the next few years. So the earlier you get on the ladder, the better. Yeah. So we Business Gateway, not me, Business Gateway, deliver an AI workshop across the country. Actually, it's a local boy that does it. I think. I'm sure he's local. I don't know. I'm sure he's local.
But go to course, you'll find out.
Exactly, go to course, you'll find out. And it's free. And it's absolutely phenomenal. But the manner in which he delivers it, if you've never, ever even logged on to ChatGPT before, or if you use it on a daily basis, I guarantee you get something out of that. I guarantee it. He's at Gary Innes, his name is. That's it. I couldn't remember his name. That's why I was talking nonsense. Gary Innes. And he's absolutely brilliant. Honestly, the man is phenomenal when it comes to all that sort of stuff. So look him up, get on his course through Business Gateway, and you'll make a difference. And the other one, obviously, is understanding or the effective use of social media. I don't know how many times I've had a conversation with folk and I said to them, how are you with social media? And they go, oh, yeah, great. Yeah, I'm on every night with my pals. But yeah, it's not what you're going to do as a business.
Are you using it effectively?
Yeah, that's cool. What do you use? I'm on TikTok every night. Right. Are you going to find your clients on TikTok? Let's say you're I don't know. I don't know. Something that wouldn't be on TikTok anyway. So the answer is no.
I was going to say everyone's on TikTok these days. I was about to say like a builder or a construction thing, but they actually are. They do like behind the scenes and stuff like that.
They do. To be fair, TikTok's probably a bad one because I recommend everybody gets on TikTok at the moment. But
such a leading platform, though.
Absolutely, it's changed the world. Some of the other businesses that I've helped and support over the years literally built their businesses on TikTok. Mm-hmm. And now. There's a couple of them I'm working with that are, turning over £300,000 a year, and will go absolutely massive. That's them starting at £300,000 a year, so it can be done. And literally, as I say, they built their business on TikTok. It's phenomenal. But anyway, back to social media. Social media still has different people on it. So if you may be on social media yourself on a particular platform, but your business is more aimed at a particular group of people that's going to be found on a different platform. So if you don't have the knowledge of how to use it in a business sense, not in a personal sense, because we can all take a picture of a dinner and put it up and go, yeah, look what I had for dinner, guys. And your pals come on and go, oh, that's minging. Did your wife cook it? In my case, that would be, yeah, it probably was. Still getting nothing for that. Do you know what I mean? You can do that, but that's not a business post.
I know.
It's just not. So it's understanding that. So effective use of social media is another really, really good one. Everybody should go on. And I would say bookkeeping as well, of some sort. So there's a list of bookkeeping ones. So there's bookkeeping. There is bookkeeping for sole traders, bookkeeping for limited companies, all of these sort of things. Now, you may well pay for the bookkeeper. You may well pay for an accountant, but you should still know what the basics behind it are.
How many horror stories have you heard of people? No, like, and I'm talking like big companies, like no idea what's even going on behind the scenes. Like,
if you think about it, there was a company in Paisley 5 years ago now that was a really a good sized business in Paisley and shut down overnight because the accountant ran away with the money. Right? Not against accountants. There are some absolute fabulous accountants, especially in Paisley, and some really, really good ones. But like every profession, there's always somebody there that's doing it badly or doing it for the wrong reasons or whatever. It doesn't matter what you're in. But if you've got an understanding of what bookkeeping should look like or what goes in what column, then if you get reporting for your accountant and you go, wait a minute,
that's not right.
That doesn't look right. I'm not asking you to buy a dog and embark at a postman, but at least have an understanding of it. For me, that's it. So, and there is a whole portfolio of workshops on.
There's so many.
Just about everything you can imagine.
One thing I'd like to obviously say to people as well, if you are looking at it, there's courses pretty much like kind of all day sort of one. And by that, I mean there's courses for like the morning, courses for the afternoon. There's even evening courses, which suits somebody like me, who does other things during the day. And I'm like, perfect. I'm able to do a course at night, usually 6 to 8. I've done a couple of with Gary, to be fair, and his workshop was fantastic. But I'm like, it's so friendly as well because you meet them people that are in the same sort of like as you know what I mean? Yeah. Same position as you, whether they're new or been in it for a wee while, you know what I mean? And it's a good networking kind of connecting thing as well.
Absolutely. It's, the good thing about a lot of these courses are as well is that they're webinars at the moment.
Yeah.
So you don't have to give up an extra hour either side to travel to and park your car and all that nonsense. You can literally be making your dinner, sit down, have your dinner and take part in the course.
Yep.
Now, as you say, the networking side of it, introducing yourself to other businesses, finding out about other businesses, you're all in the same boat. New businesses first of all, these workshops are not limited just to new businesses. Okay. Anybody can go on them at any point.
Yep.
But you will find people that are at the same stage as you on the workshop. So you can have a chat about it. You may even find people that say, actually, do you know what? I've been thinking about doing a podcast on there as my marketing, as my promotion. Can I come along and to your studio?
You certainly can.
Yes, absolutely.
Studio 23 Renfrew.
Teed you up there. But you know what I mean? So there's so much more to it than just learning about these courses. Yeah. Meeting other people, understanding that you're not going through this journey alone. Everybody has it.
I think owning a business, especially as a sole trader, can be quite lonely.
Yeah.
As well. And I think you need that network of people that are in the same position as you, so that you have, people to bounce off.
Definitely.
And have people that you can, you don't need to give away your secrets about your business and how you run it and stuff like that. You don't need to give anything like that. But just to have somebody that understands, like, not necessarily be in your shoes, but understand what it's like to be in your shoes, if you get me.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's strange you mentioned that because I actually actively promote speaking to your competition, because I think we treat competition in this country as a bad thing. It's not. It's just not. If there's people doing what you're looking to do, for me, first of all, it proves there's a market.
Yep.
Okay. Because if nobody else is doing something, and you suddenly think, "Oh, I'm going to do," but nobody else is doing it. Is there a reason nobody else is doing it?
Mm-hmm.
Now, it may just be nobody else has thought of it, and that's fine. But it may also be because nobody else wants it. You just want it. You think it's great. Like I want an extended arm at the moment to get that cup, so that I don't have to move out the way of the mic.
I'm actually starting a new business. It's called Extendo.
Is it Extendo? There you go. We're laughing. But you know what I mean? So in this moment, that's a business idea, right? An extended arm to get that glass for me. See, the minute I walk out of here, where would I ever use it again?
I know.
Who else is ever going to ask for it? It's not a business idea, and there's a reason for it. However, we go back to this competition. So people are doing it. So straight away, well, do you know what? People are actually paying for that thing that I want, whether it's a service or a product or whatever else. So there is a market there.
Yep.
The other thing it does is it tells you how much people are prepared to pay for something, right? Because if there's one thing that annoys me with clients, and you know who you are, when they come in and they say to me, yeah, I'm going to be cheaper. Why? What does that serve?
Yeah.
If you have, if you sell glasses for a living, these kind of glasses, right? And I've got a glass over here for sale, and I'm going to sell this for £3. Okay, you probably pay 50p out of IKEA for it, but
Probably.
yeah, there you go. But I'm going to sell it for £3. All right. You come along to open your business because you've got a glass, and you think, well, James is selling his business for £3. I'm going to sell mine for £2.50. So all you're going to do is drive the price of mine down.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because people are now only prepared to pay £2.50 for it. They were paying £3 a glass. All right.
Yep.
Every time you sell a glass at £2.50, you're costing yourself 50p every time, because we were prepared to pay £3 for it.
Crazy to think that, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it.
And people think that as a good thing, because that was one of the things when I was starting this up and I was going right about pricing. Now I'm very lucky in the sense that there's no other podcast studio in Renfrewshire at the moment.
No.
So there wasn't really a price scope that I could go, well, I mean, they're charging that, so doing that sort of thing. So we're still finding our feet with that sort of idea sort of thing. But it's interesting when you say that, and I see a lot of people doing it.
Mm-hmm.
They have similar businesses, but yet the prices are very varied.
Yeah, absolutely.
And people go, yeah, I'm the cheapest one around.
Oh,
and you go, but I don't think that's really a thing to be happy about as such.
No.
Like,
why would you? Somebody else has done the hard work and set a market price.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to come along and go, well, 4,000 people have bought that glass at £3 a glass. Okay, so what I'm going to do is charge £2.50, so that 4,000 people now can pay £2.50 a glass,
mm-hmm.
and I don't make as much money doing the same thing that the
as
other
I would have done.
did.
Yeah.
In what world does that make any sense?
Yeah. Competition's healthy.
Exactly. Plus, the other thing is, I would say, and I do say to focus, so do you think you're only worth £2.50 then? So you're telling me you're not as good as them?
Yep.
If you've come across as, I want to be the cheapest on the market. Well, if you go for a quote for something and they say get 3 quotes, okay, this is what we do. We get 3 quotes. There'll be a highest quote, there'll be a middle quote, there'll be a low quote. We automatically go, I'm not paying the low one because he's clearly at it. Or she is clearly a cowboy. That top one, what do you think I'm paying that? No chance. I'll go for the one in the middle, right? That's what we do as human beings. Yeah. So why would you make yourself the cheapest? So that everybody can say, oh, no, there's something wrong with that. Everybody else is charging more than that.
Aye.
You must be doing something wrong. Or you get the people that just want cheap. They're never coming back. See the cheap people, they never come back. They're a one-time client.
You never retain them.
Yeah. The minute you say, okay, that's my special offer done, I'm going to charge £3 for my glasses like everybody else does, they're off. They're going somewhere else. They're back to buying their plastic glasses from somebody.
Else.
Yeah.
It's amazing when you think of that. It's just something to think about as a new business owner or a business owner at the moment, and you haven't thought about that. Like, definitely think about your pricing and stuff like that. And it's absolutely fine to look around and see what your competition's doing.
I encourage it.
And don't be afraid to collaborate with them as well. collaboration is fantastic as well, especially with businesses. Like, and it doesn't matter if they're maybe not in the same market as you, but look at other businesses. Like, you will only help each other grow at the end of the day.
Absolutely. And the other thing about competition for me is there's two types of competition. All right. Now, as a business owner that delivers a particular service, so we'll use you, podcast.
Mm-hmm.
As you said, there's nobody else in Renfrewshire that has an established, organized podcast studio. Okay. I'm pretty sure somebody out there will say, I've got a recording studio. I do podcasting from it. Yeah, you've got a recording studio.
Yeah.
You offer podcasting. That's not the same thing as a dedicated podcast studio. However, for me, that person is competition.
Yep.
Okay. Because we've got the ones that are absolute direct competition, who have exactly the same as you, do the same thing. And then we have what would be assumed competition. So who would I believe would offer the same as you if I wasn't in the industry? Yeah. So it would be recording studios, it'd be, those sort of things. I would say, I'm pretty sure if I wanted to do a podcast, I could go and get them and they would do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's assumed competition, and they exist. But as I say, you should still be talking to these folk.
Yep.
It's about driving the level of excellence as well. You go along to a local recording studio and you say, "Oh, I can see you doing podcasts. Great, that's fine." What have they got? Oh, they've only got a 2-camera system, or they've got a 1-camera system. Okay, well, I've got a 3-camera system in here. I've got all the lighting. I've got extra seating. I've got this and this and this. By understanding your competition, you will make yourself a better business, because you will have to raise your game.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you walked in there and you said, "Oh God, they've got a 3-camera system, I've only got a 1." Right. But that's not their main business.
Yep.
That's even worse. They've got a better setup than me. It's not their main business. I need to raise my game. Yeah. But it's nothing bad against them. And people shouldn't fall out with somebody just because they've opened a business. It's the same as there's along the street. What better compliment can you ever get?
I know. It's crazy when you think about that, to be fair.
As a business, somebody's saying, "I believe in your business so much that I want to spend my money to make it look the same." That's a compliment to you. That's somebody saying, "You have a fabulous business because I'm going to copy you." That's all it is.
But a flattery.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the way you should treat it. People get the wrong. The minute folks say, "Oh, there's another hairdresser that's opened up. There's another." It just means that they think you're doing a good job. There's a new coffee shop just opened around the corner here. And I'm pretty sure some of the other cafes and coffee shops will go, "Oh, for God's sake, it's another one." But again,
mm-hmm.
They've looked at what you're doing and gone, "Wow, I'm going to spend my money to be as good as you." That's it. No business anywhere gets 100% of the custom anyway. So there will be people in that high street that are not coming to your business that want to go to a similar business. That's just the way the world works.
Very rarely do you have like the loyal people that kind of come. Like, you have loyal customers, but there's so many more out there. I think like that we're in such a big pond that there's plenty of fish in the sea.
Absolutely. Well, I was doing the calculation with somebody the other day for their business plan, because part of what I do is obviously help people understand who their customer is, where they'll find them from, how many of them they actually need, and what sort of percentage of the population is that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I do help them, and I explain what the calculations are. Sometimes they understand, and sometimes I have to show them again and again, looking down the camera. You know who you are. But you'd be amazed at how little of the percentage of the population you need as a business, depending on what you're charging. If you're charging 10p, for whatever your service is, you need a lot of the population.
Yeah.
Or you need to sell a lot of units to a single person. But if you've got a service out there that's £20 or £30, right? So a service or selling or whatever it is, to make like £30,000 or £40,000, a year, you only need to sell to something like 0.1% of the population of Renfrewshire to make £40,000 a year. No, 0.1%. Why are we worried about somebody opening up next door?
Yeah.
That's the truth of it. And people get so caught up in, they shouldn't have done that. They shouldn't have opened up there. Why not? Why not? And hopefully, from your point of view, you look at them and you go, I'll raise my game.
I'll raise my game.
And your clients come back to you and go, oh, wow, listen, that was so much better this time, and blah, blah, blah. And, you know, even like this, let's take your studio, for example. When you started the studio, it looked nothing like this.
No.
It was just a white walls, white table, black mics. It was, for want of a better word, sterile.
Definitely.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong, it's still good. Quality was fabulous. Everybody loved it. However, you've evolved. You've seen what other people are doing. You've been online. You've seen other.
The amount of research I did and the amount of, do you know what I mean? Like self-evaluating.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, right, something needs to change.
Yeah.
In here. But like, I didn't come into this with like so many funds behind me to go, right, I'm just going to fork everything out straight away. Like people listening to this, you don't always have to have the funds behind you.
No.
Please take your time.
For most people, growing a business is exactly that. It's called growing a business for a reason, because you need to grow from something. You can start with very, very little and move forward. There are some really good, low cost loans that you can get to help start a business as well. If you really need a piece of equipment, like it's different for you, but if you need a van and don't have a van, van prices are ridiculous at the moment. So, you'll be looking either trying to take a lease from a local hire business on a job by job basis, maybe, or you're going to go a loan and you're going to buy a van, but you can get loans out there at the moment, £5,000 that you pay back £96 a month. Yeah.
Fantastic.
It's not a lot of money. If you're in a kind of business that requires a van, the likelihood is £96 is maybe one job for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Or less than a job. So it's not a lot of money. So, it depends on the business though, but you're absolutely right. Do not start a business and go, right, so if I'm opening a podcast studio, I need 3 £2,000 cameras. I need all the lighting gear. I need, all this fashionable furniture and all this stuff. Oh, right. So that's £30,000 I need to spend.
Yep.
You don't. You just don't. The quality, the level, everything else will grow the more you invest in the business.
Yeah, 100%.
But it's about understanding how and when to invest. And again, that brings you back to your business advisor and back to making sure that your business plan is right, your cash flow projections are right, which is something that any business advisor worth their salt will sit down and go through with you anyway.
Yeah.
And if you're under 30, you can also not only go and see the Business Gateway advisor, you can also go to Princess Trust. They'll help you out there. If you're unemployed or receiving benefits, then there'll be other people that will support you as well. And that's not me saying, if you're on benefits, you'll get more help, because Business Gateway is free anyway to everybody. There is nobody that we would not speak to in Business Gateway. So you can come in and you can be unemployed. You could walk in the door, and I've had clients actually that have come back from used to work in the oil fields in Nigeria, and they've come over, and because it was a young boy on his own, he's banked all his money, right? And he's walked in the door and he said, right, I have got X amount of £100,000 to spend on a business, to invest in a business. I just need some help doing it. Great. So he's not precluded because he's got all that money.
Yeah.
And then also I've got, clients that walk in the door and literally say, I've been unemployed for 20 years. I had an injury and whatever, and blah, 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 blah. I need your help. Great. And there's people in between. You could be working and just looking to change, or even if you're working, doing something for a job and you want to come in and go, I think I could do this as my own business. Fine. Just ask the questions. And taking advice is difficult for most people. Most people think, but my granny's next door neighbour's Uncle Bob's dog had a business and he told me to do that. Yeah, but do they get paid to give this advice?
Sometimes we need to leave it to the professionals.
Yeah. I'm qualified.
Yeah.
You know,
And that's it. And you're not doing it in a way that you're like, I know better than you guys do. And you're never doing that. Like, even the business advisors that I've met with, Business Gateway and other places and stuff like that, I've never maybe once feel like, you're just a know-all.
Yeah.
You're just a know-all. And I'm like, I can't bother with that. And I can't bother dealing with you. I don't want to give you all the information that I have here.
Absolutely. It's interesting because when I started as a business advisor 15 years ago now, it must be close to 15 years, I was slightly different from everybody else, or I was certainly different from what people thought a business advisor looked like, you know. And when they come in and see me now normally I've got my sleeves covered up when I'm working because I'm a little bit professional. I do cover my tattoos up, but I can't get rid of the big beard and everything else, you know. And I do not wear a suit and shirt and tie to work. I just don't, because I'm about making people comfortable. Right? So it's taking that. I'm going to speak to you in a manner that you'll understand. And don't get me wrong, as I say, I can speak to people that run multi-million-pound international businesses, no problem. And I can also speak to, wee Jimmy, who's, was brought up and governed and lives in Figgy Park. I'm good with that, and all business advisors should be. We should be able to speak to you and not use jargon that you're not going to understand. And it may be that that's the industry accepted language. But if you don't know it, what's the point in me talking to you like that?
Yeah.
And that's the big thing for me. I could sit here and go on about, all of these legislations and blah, 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 blah. Why?
That's the point.
You come in and you say to me, do I need a license? Have I got to pay something to the council? Yeah, you have. Or no, you've not.
Mm-hmm.
And you'd be amazed at the amount of people that go, really? I thought I had to pay that. No, you don't. Do I need an accountant? No, you don't need an accountant unless you're a limited company, of course, and you don't. You can't do your own tax return. Because if you could do your own tax return, then no, why would you need one?
Mm-hmm.
And again, the other thing is, people say to me, accountants are brilliant, by the way. I've got nothing against accountants. I think some accountants, or most accountants, are absolutely worth their weight in gold. And depending on your business, yes, you should get a good accountant because they will literally save you thousands of pounds.
Yep.
And by the way, I'm not just meaning about, they'll put in a dodgy claim for you. They'll understand the things that you can and can't claim. And some of the things that you can claim for, you would never think, But as a limited company, it's how they put them through.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing dodgy about it whatsoever. But it's just putting things in the right places could save you masses. So it's worth it if you're a limited company. Provided you have the turnover and everything else. And even as a sole trader, to be perfectly honest, if you're a sole trader that's making enough money to pay an accountant rather than just pay a tax on it, you should be a limited company anyway because there's more benefits to you. We'll cross that anyway. But so yeah, you can get an accountant. Go and see them. They'll sort you out. Accountants as well in Paisley. I know a good few of them. Some I've known for years and years and years, even before I was doing this actually. And they'll offer business advice as well. Some of them, they help you get you started and everything else. Again, though, you're paying for it.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Why would you pay for advice that you can get for free? Can I give you financial advice? No, I can't. I'm not an accountant. I'm not a financial advisor. Can I tell you where to apply for a whatever? Yes, I can. Can I show you on Companies House how to register a limited company? Yes, I can. Do you want to pay £200 plus VAT to an accountant to do the same thing? If you want
that's
to do
your
it,
choice.
That's your choice. But why? Why would you? Every new business I can think of could use £200 better than paying an accountant to register a limited company for them. And again, I know accountants are going to hate me because it's a good source of income for them and everything else. But as a new start business, that £200 is better spent elsewhere. It just is. I'm sorry to say it to accountants. That's my view on it anyway. Unless you've got unless you're my boy from Nigeria, that's come back after working in the oil fields and got, I say hundreds of thousands of pounds in the bank. 200 quid, he's not going to mess it. Charge on, get your accountant.
Yeah, just go for it.
But when you're starting up a little mobile business of some sort, and for some reason somebody's told you to get an accountant, that 200 quid you can spend elsewhere better.
Yeah. That's it. And I think that's it. It's knowing where to put your finances and like putting them properly and things like that. You know what I mean? With or without an accountant. Yeah, absolutely. And as I say, accountants do fabulous jobs. They really, really do. At the right stage in your business, though, for me, there is a stage. And I think a lot of the accountants out there as well would agree. There are some really good ones out there that they don't really want to be doing an end of year tax return for somebody that is, self-employed and turning over £12,000 a year. That's costing you a lot more money than at £12,000 a year. You're not paying any tax anyway. So, the cost to you is far greater than you're ever going to pay in tax. So why would you? Because the other thing is, your accountant will do a tax return for you, right? Let's say you earn £13,000 a year, right? So you've just gone over that tax bracket, and you've got an accountant just to do your filing for you. The minimum I've ever heard of is 250 quid, right? So you're paying £250 to pay an accountant to do just the filing. On top of that, you now still have to pay that tax bill, right? Now the tax bill for you is only going to be £10. Mm-hmm.
£10. Why would you pay 250 quid to learn minimum to learn that you've only got to pay £10? Yeah. Why would you? When you can go on to one of our workshops again, and they will show you exactly how to have a tax return for nothing. Or you come into your business advisor and they will show you, this is where you sign in. Have you got a government gateway account? And that's the first thing. Everybody that's thinking about a business, sign up for a government gateway account. It will save you all sorts of grief later on. So do it straight away. It doesn't cost you anything. It doesn't do anything. It's there. You've got access to when you can retire and get a state pension. It will tell you. It'll tell you in black and white. 4,002 years old, you can get a state pension.
That sounds probably about right.
It was getting that way even for me, I think. But it's there anyway. It's done. It's out of the way. Put it to bed. You've got it. And then, go on a workshop. Come in and see your advisor. Let them tell you where it is. And as I say, there's so much more. And I'm fully aware as well that there will be plenty of people out there that I have seen over the years that go, he did nothing for me. If that is the case, that's because you chose me to do nothing for you.
Yeah.
If I'm honest, you could have gone on workshops. You could have done all sorts of things. Generally, it's people that don't want to do the work themselves that say that, which is fine. And that's fine. And I do help my clients as much as I humanly can. Probably too much for my boss's liking. But that's just the type of person I am.
Yeah, that's the type of person that you are.
I always go above and beyond, if I can, for anybody. I've worked in Paisley now for 7 years, and I've still got clients that came to see me 7 years ago that still phone me up regularly and say, just a quick question. That's fine. And it's all good. Or, to be fair, most of them know me that I very rarely answer my phone because I'm normally speaking to somebody. So they email me. And then they email me again because I've not got back to them. But, that's just the way it is. But that's the other thing as well. Yes, go and see a business advisor. Definitely go and see them. Get some help. But you also need to manage your expectations as well, that a business advisor, especially a free one, is likely to have hundreds of people that they're dealing with at the same time.
Yes. But patience would be greatly appreciated.
That's it. So I was in the office the other day and I had back-to-back appointments because I'm stupid like that. And I put my clients first all the time and never even build in paperwork time for myself. Back-to-back. And my phone rang and it rang and it rang and it kept ringing. And I think the same client phoned me 6 times in an hour. Now, I have told clients, get in contact, and I tell everybody, get in contact with me. I'm here to help, and I mean it. I genuinely mean it. But see, when I've not answered the phone, maybe the second time, I'm probably busy.
Yeah.
Send me an email. You know, I'm maybe doing something. What was I doing when you came in to see me? Was I answering my phone? No, I wasn't. You know. But hey, it could have been panicking. It wasn't, but it could have been really important.
That's it. This has been brilliant, and I think like that, like people listening to this, whether you're established, whether you're not established, whether you've been sitting thinking, how do I bring this hobby from the bedroom or whatever it is to fruition?
Yep.
Now's the perfect opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. That's it. So if there's lots of different types of people that start a business. Okay. If you're somebody that has a thing and you've got investment and you think you're ready to go, doesn't hurt to come and ask. It doesn't hurt to come and speak to somebody. And there's, by the way, you know, the team I work with has got an amazing array of, you know, knowledge and background and experience. You know, some fabulous knowledge there. So even if I don't know the answer to your question, I know someone that does.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I do not purport to know everything. That's not a claim I make about myself. Not very well. Yeah. I do to my kids, but that's it. So you know, we can see you. If you're having a bit of a rough time and you've started in business recently, you know, come in and see us. See if you've been in business 20 years, come in and see us. You know, or as I said before, if you just think, I wondered if I can make this a business, come in and see us. Simple as that. You know, it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter what you've got. It doesn't matter what you know. And it certainly doesn't matter what you think you don't know. Because I can almost guarantee what you think you don't know is actually not really a problem anyway.
Yeah.
You know, I can teach you. The workshops can teach you. And most of what you think you need to know, you don't. Because it's just nonsense that somebody's put in your head. As I said before, one or two reasons. Yeah, Granny's next door neighbour's pal's dog had a business at some point, and you know the advice they're giving is so out of date, it's unreal. Or everybody else around you's knocking you, telling you not to do it.
Yeah.
You know, oh no, you can't do that. What if it doesn't work? What if it doesn't? What if it doesn't?
What if it does?
Exactly. That's my thing about, you know, us. You know, in Britain, we always favour the underdog until they make it, and then we want to beat them up. And we always seem to go for the what's, but what if it doesn't? Yeah, but what if it
very
does?
negative.
Yeah, we always look for, oh man, you could lose everything. Like what? Yeah, that's
back to the start again.
The number of people come in and say to me as well, I mean, could I lose my house? Well, it depends what you secure in your house. If you don't secure anything on your house, no. Oh, so do I need to secure things in my house? No. Right, so I won't lose my house. No. Well, you know, don't secure stuff and we're all good. You know, there are loads of good, as I say, low-cost loans that are unsecured. You can take to start a business. If your business has been trading less than 3 years old, as I say, there's loans out there that are from as little as £96 a month that could change your business. You know, and none of it's going to be secured against your house. So don't panic about it.
There you go. So don't worry about it, folks. Okay, don't worry about it. Now, just to kind of finish up.
Yep.
Where can people come and find you personally?
Find me personally. If they want to come and speak to me, if you see what you like, then you can pop into the office.
See what you like.
See what you like,
if you like Santa Claus, folks, then this is the guy.
There's a few things I would say, but I'm not gonna. Family show. But no. If you want to pop in and see me, I'm in Paisley High Street, number 27. As I say, it is part of the Business Gateway service. There are 3 of us in there that do new start businesses. We're all employed by the council who deliver the Business Gateway service. There's 2 other guys in there that do growth businesses. So if you've been trading for a few years, or you have a large scale business, less than 250 employees, obviously, and everything else, then those guys, that's what they do. They can help you. We have, we have a whole range of stuff that we can help you with. So come in and see us.
Yeah.
Or go onto the Business Gateway website and you will see there's a thing called Planning to Start on there where you can put on your details and it will get sent across and it will get allocated to an advisor. But if you want to see me, if you think he's the man for me, pop in.
He's the guy.
Have a chat. Well, do you know what it is? I think I am. Most people that meet me do not expect to see me. Now, most people that meet me go, good, you're not what I expected. Because I'm not, I turn up in my jumper and my chinos every day. And I'm just like that, just a normal casual guy. And then when I start going, how's that? And they go, what? Boy, last week, I showed him how a little bit of investment and everything else could take his business and make it in excess of £200,000 a year if things went to plan. Can't guarantee it. Don't have a crystal ball. If I had a crystal ball, I would know what the numbers were for the lottery last week and I wouldn't be here.
And you would be sitting here.
Yeah. So evidence based on what you tell me, the evidence you give me, and when I show you, if you stop doing that and did that, that could be the outcome. So when we did his, it went from him earning deadly score at the moment to, a £200,000 a year turnover business, but actually gave him about £50,000 in his hand.
Wow.
So, we can do it. So if I'm the man, pop in, have a chat, ask for James. I'm the only James in there. Or Santa. They'll know you're asking
there you
for.
Go.
Straight away.
Just say code word Santa.
That's it. I should get an affiliate code.
You should.
I should get it on.
If it was a sponsor thing, I would say use code Santa, but we don't have one. We unfortunately don't have a sponsor for the podcast yet. If anybody does want to sponsor it, then you know where to get in touch. We've got cool code names for them.
Already? We're all sorted?
We are.
Yeah. No. More than happy to help. I'll help anybody, anytime, anywhere. And yeah, if you're in Renfrewshire, come in and see us. If you're outside of Renfrewshire, contact the local Business Gateway.
Perfect.
Around the country, the service is there. One thing I need to say though is, and we've had a couple of clients that fall foul of this, is because some areas have funding for certain things, that doesn't happen across the entire country, unfortunately. So Highlands and Islands and rural areas, that there may well be some funding there because that's a rural community stuff that you will not get in the big sort of Glasgow, Edinburgh, because they're not rural areas. So funding is very, very confined to the local council. So if you've seen something anywhere else, yes, come and ask us. We might have it, but don't assume that because somebody else has got it, we've got it as well. Okay, and say.
It's good advice to know, obviously, listening to us. And it's not to say that you listening to this get the exact same service that somebody else get. As you say, you're all individuals at the end of the day. There's no full-on financial advice that anybody can give you. If you want financial advice, you've got to go elsewhere for that sort of stuff. Absolutely. The guys at Business Gateway and those out with are absolutely fantastic. And I've been such a massive support and even helping with this dream of mine, the studio and things like that. And pretty much most of the guests that have came on. So it's actually been really nice to have one of you actually be on the podcast now and discussing it.
It's great. I love watching a podcast, and it's funny, when I see some of these people coming on that I've helped and supported over the years, and I think back to the first day they walked in the office to me, and some of them, I think, God, you were this, I'm just not sure. And I see them on these podcasts, and they are like, yeah, and this is confident the business, and you just think, what a journey you've had. Yeah. What a journey. Hey, do you know what? You're not a millionaire. You're not anything else. But look at you. Look at you as a person. What difference it's made to you.
I'm glad that this is around to highlight that sort of thing and show the support, and and help support other local businesses and things like that, and get the name out there for some of them. I'm delighted with that, and obviously this wouldn't have been possible for the help of obviously you guys as well, so much appreciated.
No, well, hey, I'll take I know it wasn't me that helped you directly with this one, but I'll take the plaudit for it.
There you go. Well, you're here, so you may as well.
Yeah, exactly. He couldn't make it.
Listen, folks, thank you so much for tuning in and watching this week's episode. It's obviously live, Apple Podcasts, Spotify and YouTube. And if you could, please leave a wee like, a follow or subscribe, anything at all to help promote it. And obviously, as we've said for the whole podcast, the whole podcast, sorry. If you are wanting to start your own business or have been thinking about doing it for a while, or you have one currently and you need advice, please go and see these guys, whether it be James or anyone else from the team. But again, just thanks very much.
No problem. Listen, absolutely listen, I'm sorry I go off on a tangent. I'm so passionate about helping people.
And I think that just shows a bit of your character, though, for people coming to deal with you, though. It's not just like you're there to tick a box at the end of the day. It is passion when it comes to helping people succeed.
Absolutely, it is.
So thanks very much, folks, and we'll see you in the next one.
Thank you.